All right, so we are starting a new unit, talking about decimals. Shouldn't be something new for you. Obviously, you've been dealing with them for a couple years now. But also very important is that they are used in real life all the time. So if you want to be able to work with money, then you need to be able to work with decimals. We're not doing adding and subtracting decimals because that's something that you should have done in elementary school. So we'll review it a little bit, but we're not going to take any notes on it or anything. So we're starting with multiplying decimals. I went ahead and wrote out the notes or the steps. We are going to do some examples. But if you want to pause me and copy these down and then play me so that you can hear what I have to say. I don't know if that will save you any time, but just trying to do what's best for you. So first thing I wrote down was you do not have to line up your decimals. That's a common thing that a lot of middle school students mess up with is they think they have to line up their decimals when you're multiplying. But really, it's just something that you have to do with adding and subtracting. You can line up the decimals, but obviously sometimes you'd have to add some zeros in, and sometimes that creates more work for you to do. So you really don't even have to line them up. So instead of lining them up, you actually want to put the number that has the most digits on top. That's what this right here is talking about. And so whichever one has more digits, that one's going to go on top. After that, you would just do regular multiplication. Some people even take the decimal completely out and they'll put it back in later. And that's up to you. It's a personal preference. Then you count the number of digits behind the decimal. So that way, like if your top number has 3 numbers behind the decimal, your bottom number has 2 numbers behind the decimal, that 3 plus 2 is going to mean you have to move it 5 times. And then you would place that decimal in your answer after you've moved it 5 times. We're going to do some examples so that you can see what I'm talking about, and hopefully you'll understand what I mean. All right. So if we have 2 4/10 times 1 327 thousandths, all right? Even though 2.4 is bigger, even though it comes first, that doesn't matter because my steps tell me that this is the one that has to come first or has to go on top because it's got more digits. So I'm going to put this one on top. And that one on the bottom. And see, I did not line up my decimals because you don't have to do that when you're multiplying. So now it's just regular multiplication. 4 times 8, 28. 2 times 4 is 8, that's 10. 13, that's 5. Put my 0, let me cross these things out. 2 times 7 is 14. 5, 6, and a 2. 8, 4, 8, 11, 3. All right. And now here I was talking about counting your places after your decimal. So this one has 1, 2, 3. This one has 1. So you got 3 on top, 1 on bottom. So that's a total of 4. So that means, oh, I'm sorry. You couldn't even see that. You have to move your decimal 4 places. Now, right now, your decimal is at the end. So you move it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to go there. So now my decimal is going to go right here. So that is my new answer. Okay. All right. Let's look at another one. Let's do 0.014 times 3.7. All right. So now we need to line up the one that has the most digits on top. Okay. So now we just do regular multiplication. 4 times 7 is 8. Carry my 2. 2 times that's 9. 0, 0. Place my 0. 12. So now I can just add these up. Okay, count your places of decimals. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you move it 4 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here is my decimal. Okay, so really the thing you have to pay attention to the most for this is making sure you count your decimal places and then moving it over that number of places in your last answer or in your final answer. All right, I'm going to do one more. Let's do 6 times, all right, which one has more digits? So 15.04 is going on top, 6 is going down here, and we're just going to do regular multiplication. And we have to do 6 times 4 is 24. That's a 2. That's 30. A 9. Count your decimal places. 1, 2, 1, 2. And there it is. And there's your final answer. All right. So that's all we're doing. Just make sure you count your decimal places and don't forget to put it in your final answer.